It is day 2 of the Bekaert Fence build, and we are on to project number 2. So demo is happening today on 3 of the 4 sides of the hay yard. This again is a high pressure area, especially in the springtime, and always have problems with calves and yearlings sneaking through. So we're going to put in a 16-foot gate right in here rather than just the panels that were set up there. And then this fence is extremely old. It's taken a lot of abuse over the years, and so just nice new tight fence. It's going to hold calves in really well and eliminate problems for me in the springtime, which I love. So we've got Keith and Maddie over here demoing. It is windy today, and we'll go check in. Van and Savannah are, can we see them? They're back over there demoing. So they're attacking this from both angles, both sides, and we'll meet in the middle. So we took everything from yesterday's demo up to the county landfill. Jeff ran that up this morning. We're gonna fill the dump trailer up again today with all this fence material. Am saving what I can from it. There are some T-posts that are still in decent shape, so I will save what is usable again, but most of this old wire and stuff just needs to go to the landfill.
This is kind of a mess.
Keith is absolutely right that this fence is a mess. It is woven wire and barbed wire and patches, and I don't see any baling twine, so that's maybe a good sign. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys kind of what this fence looks like close up so you can kind of see, you know, what they're dealing with. And this demo is going to take a bit of time just because of such the mess that we have going on here. So I think it was originally barbed wire, and then some woven got put on top of it, and then some more. You can definitely see that this strand, focus. This strand is newer. I know Keith has worked on this in the past when he's been here. This is definitely older barbed wire. It's been trampled down. Snow load has been hard on this fence. We get a lot of drifting here. Oh, I just got tangled up in some barb. Should probably watch where I'm walking out here. Yeah, like this is all, it's loose. It's not attached super great. It has been patched and patched and patched. This post is leaning. This is a post that Keith put in one time when he was working on it. Bent T-post, leaning T-post. Yeah, just kind of a mess. So obviously this is all gonna come out. All right, so Van and Savannah have this whole section laid down, posts are all out. I have a few more things. That panel's good and it's stained, but a few more things that need to go to recycling that would not fit in the trailer. So we're gonna have to get these cut and into smaller, more manageable pieces. This right here was a wire gate, and we're actually going to eliminate this gate just because any gate is a point of weakness, potentially something to get left open. And if cows get in here, they have access to the highway. There is no cattle guard onto the highway. Behind that haystack there is the entrance into the hay yard that goes to the highway, and there's no cattle guard. So anything that I can do to eliminate points of access for cattle is something that we're going to do in this build. This side of the hay yard is actually going to stay up. We're not replacing this in this project. It is not as bad. It is not as pushed down. Again, there's woven wire on top of barbed wire, but it is still in better shape than the other 3 sides. So it is going to stay for the time being. The posts are also a lot better. They're not as bent, and the cows don't put as much pressure on this side. This is the triangle pasture over here. Multi-species is over there. But this side just doesn't take as much pressure, and so it is just holding up much better. Since I'm out in the hay yard, I know that there's going to be a few comments about the amount of hay left over and if I'm going to be cutting hay again this summer. Yes, I do have quite a bit left over, which is great, but the plan is to cut hay. It does look like we're going to have a decent hay crop. Maybe not the best. We didn't get a ton of snow this winter, as I've talked about. We've had some rain. Haven't had any rain for a while now, and there's not really any in the forecast. Hopefully we'll get a thunderstorm or something that will dump on us, but grass does look good for right now. We are still a few weeks out. End of June is typically when haying starts. So I would say it's going to be tall enough for us to cut. And because of the amount left over, I may not cut some of the fields. I will probably focus on the higher yielding fields and winter graze some of the lower yielding hay fields. But we'll just kind of see and make that judgment call as we get closer to the end of June.
So we're in the process of tearing out. Want to save a couple of these T-posts, the straighter ones, but there's a lot of damage right in here. So Maddie and I are just going down through here, and she's got a chain on the skid steer. I'll wrap a chain around the T-post and we'll pull it all up. We've got the dump trailer down here. We can take all this steel to be recycled, so it's great for the ranch. You know, this fence is in rough shape. This is pretty bad. They've been rubbing it bad.
You contributed to the problem of this, though, by trying to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, I worked on this fence 4 years ago, and I'm cussing myself now because we tied it all back up, and that's more to undo now. So,
yeah. So all of this, like, you're tied everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and you can see there's just been barbed wire. It may have originally been a barbed wire fence. It was laid over with hinge joint, which the Solid Lock Pro that we replace with has a continuous stay top to bottom. So the fence is a whole lot more rigid. And then the high tensile barbed wire, you know, it's going to perform a lot better because this has just lost all of its strength.
So this is high tensile barb.
That's right.
Right.
Steve and I put this up a long time ago, right around COVID. Right when we were having Ranch Roundup, right after it, and we repaired it, and it's got you guys through for 3 years now. So so it's all good.
Yeah. Now we just got to undo it.
That's right.
Clean up the mess. Start new.
Start fresh. We're not saving anything on this fence. We're going back. We're going back new on everything.
Yeah.
So
I did pick up. There was some that was already previously rolled up.
I saw that.
I grabbed that because I've got a friend that does like some craft show stuff. So she's asked for some barbed wire. I was like, well, there's a lot on fences, but if I find a roll, so
for sure.
There's a like weird crafters market for like used barbed wire, but who wants to take it off the fence?
Put it on the internet. I'm sure somebody will buy it.
All right, well, I'm gonna let these guys get back to work. They've got a system, and you and Maddie know what you guys are doing. Savannah and Van know what they're doing. I'm honestly probably just in the way, and farm store's open today, and I need to get some produce picked. So I'm gonna run back to the ranch, work on that, and I'll be back when these guys are done with demo.
We'll be ready to drive post before too long.
Yeah,
so.
This won't take them super long, and then all the posts will be going in. All right, it is afternoon, and we are back. Keith, what are we doing?
So we've got a really interesting pull here because there's a small wing fence that was right here. It's been here for years and years, but we've got it pulled out. So Van and I have talked about this about 15 times, and what we have come up with is we're going to make this section all in one pull. So the west side plus this little wing, and the challenge is bracing it. It's not the fact of doing the pull, it's getting your brace right. So the pressure is actually to the inside of this post. So we're going to drop our kicker down to the inside and basically reverse the pressure is what we're going to do. And should work out really great in theory. So we'll see if it happens or not.
So you guys are getting ready to string your barbed wire string down at the base, right?
We're going to string the barbed wire. We've got all of our corner points set. We'll string our barbed wire at the base, and then we'll take off from there. And this gives us our line because we're going to go outside and then drop back inside. So we'll have posts on the inside of the wire, posts on the outside of the wire. So a little bit of a challenge, but shouldn't be too bad.
That's why there's 2 days for this project versus the other one was only 1 day, right?
Yeah, straight line's easy.
Yeah, so we got multiple sides and this little goofy goofy. I don't know, how many feet is it?
It's 11 feet.
11 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got some huge holes. I'm going to show you the holes from where they pulled out the wooden posts that I'm going to have Jeff.
I found one. It's right here.
Yeah, Keith fell.
I won't tell you how I found it, but it's right there.
I will. He fell in it. Luckily, he didn't break an ankle or a hip or anything like that. But precaution for the cows. I don't want them to fall in it either. So I'm going to have Jeff bring out, once we get some equipment freed up, we're going to fill those holes.
Did you guys hear her say broke a hip? Like I'm old or something.
I saw you fall.
I know. I fell.
Savannah tried to stand in it, and it goes all the way up to her hip. So
that's a deep post.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So definitely don't want the cows to fall in those. So those are definitely all in the corners, and just depending on where the new corner posts are set, we'll have to do some cleanup to make sure that nobody gets hurt. I also don't want to fall in it if I'm chasing a cow around
That's
there
right.
here or
Don't,
something.
no.
So. All right, so they're going to do the bottom line, and the bottom barbed wire will stay, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that will help not let the calves or
it.
cows nose under it and try and push into the hay yard. So
that's right.
Okay.
We're going to get at it.
Let's pull some barbed wire.
All right.
You got to get around these posts with the barbed wire. I gotta get the bobcat over here and get this like scooped up. It is so embedded in the dirt that I can't pull it up.
Well, we're going to have to find something.
Here, Dad, there's some cuts right here. You need a stick?
Yeah. There's a what, Maddie?
Perfect.
I left my pipe.
We found a stick. It's not really a stick. It's a piece of metal.
I got it. More holes.
So we got to get all the slack out of this line and get it straight. And because it's around so many corner posts, we can't just go down to the end and pull. We won't get it straight. So we're gonna backtrack some and pull about like halfway and then go to the end and pull again. Keith, you're taking these posts out that you decided earlier you were leaving in?
Yeah, I can't stand it.
How come we didn't cut the collars off of these?
I don't know.
Maybe they were scraps?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Scrap ends.
So not aesthetically pleasing, so they're gonna come out. They're also not, are they?
Would it work? Yes. But, I mean, it's a brand new fence.
So you want it to look like a brand new
I want
fence?
it to look like a brand new fence.
Oh, there's no wind right here behind the bale stack.
He's everywhere else.
All right, what is it that you're hooking up, Keith?
So this is a single line puller. It just it pulls one strand, either of barbed wire or of high tensile smooth wire.
And the other end is wrapped around this post.
But all we're doing is pulling slack now. Oop.
Right in the shin.
No, it didn't get me. Thank goodness. I always stand back enough, so. Okay, that's a good one. So we'll release the tension. So we've got all the slack out. Now we'll move down to the corner and pull it around. But see, that was a lot of slack for us to try to get out.
You want the weed whacker?
No, we probably should have mowed it, but we can make it work.
Okay.
Never cut it short. It's easy to trim it off. So if I don't wind up bleeding, I'm not real sure if I worked hard.
All right, so now we have a string line and the rest of the posts can go in because right now it's just the corner post and all those posts that Keith put in a few years ago that he's going to take out. So they're going to get to work pounding post, you know, same drill as yesterday. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell from on camera, but they've been, as we just walked back up this way, the debate is on of how many of these posts need to come out. I think right now they're just going to pull one of them. It's a little wonky. Probably really hard to tell on camera. But see, there's one sticking out, so the next one's probably good. Then that second one is definitely coming out. They're all gonna come out. So none of the posts that were in that Keith wanted to reuse are gonna stay in. So as we kind of just worked down the line, what kept happening is that string line kept kind of flip-flopping on either side. So he'd pull one out and then check the next one, and then it actually needed to be on the other side. So just to make the fence nice and pristine and nice and crispy, all these posts are gonna come out and they'll reuse those, but they're gonna repound them based upon the string line once they get all these out of here. So right here we had panels up for a gate, and we're actually going to set a 16-foot gate here. I believe the opening previously was 12 foot, so we're going to go ahead and widen it to 16 foot. I found a 16-foot gate that we actually had taken out when we did multi-species last summer. So that gate that was between the triangle pasture and the lot that came out for the multi-species build is now going to be moved and put up here. A 16-foot gate will give us plenty of room when we are moving hay home. That's one of the 10.5-foot posts that Jeff and I cut the other day in the ground. That will be one of our gate posts. So they're just going to keep going all the way down this line and put the rest of those in. Do this side, you know, all the sides. Lots of posts to be pounded in. And then tomorrow we'll be bracing and pulling wire. I actually have to go to town. I have a board meeting for our Edible Prairie Project, and it is the start of Summer Weekend Meals for Kids. So we're packing our first set of bags for kiddos that will get delivered on Thursday. So my board of directors is doing that, and we are having our monthly meeting. So these guys are going to keep working. Jeff and Carrie are back at the ranch. Farm store's open. Jeff's working on projects. Lots of things happening. I so appreciate that I have a team and I can go do all the things that I need to do, and work in progress is still happening here on the ranch. So we will be back tomorrow to wrap up this project. I hope you guys are having a great day. See you in the morning. It is day 3 of our Bekaert Fence build project. These guys have been hard at work today. This morning I was in town doing nonprofit fundraising preparation, executive director stuff, and while I was gone, they got all the bracing is done, all the T-posts are in, and they are pulling wire. So they're doing the first section here. This is the east side of the hay yard, and this section is gonna be the first one, and then I imagine we're gonna do this much longer run. So they're hard at work as per usual, and it is a beautiful day. It is going to be sunny and like 80 degrees, and there was no wind. Now we have a bit of a breeze, but actually that will be kind of enjoyable for the day. So we're gonna get some wire up today, and this project is gonna get wrapped up by the end of today. So how much of it is a pain that you have to deal with the wire from the other side?
Oh, it's always a pain. Any wire that's crossing. But, I mean, that one's in pretty decent shape. It's not ready to go yet, so. standing on the chain. I got it.
Man, that's tight.
Yeah, I was standing on it. Where's my keystone when I need it? I'm behind. I'm getting pretty tired.
We're using the T-clip gripples and it's for terminating. And they make it a lot easier because there's a traditional hand tie you can use here. But these, you just slide the wire in. We're good.
I mean, could you imagine trying to tie against this fence?
Yeah.
No.
At the time. But these, it's a one-way pass-through. So once it goes through, it won't back off.
Just like the gripples, they don't back off.
These are T-clip gripples. So when we get finished and let our tension back on, we'll bend these around so the animals don't get poked and cut them off right at the back end. So they work really, really slick. Huge time saver.
So Maddie's just gonna tie off the wire to the post. You're on the wrong side for me to see. There we go. Easy peasy. So about 5 clips on each post?
Yep. Two
on the
top,
bracing?
2 on bottom and 1 in the middle.
On the inside so the cows don't poke them.
Yep.
This is what the finished tie looks like. Focus, focus. So all the woven is up on this stretch and tied in, and now the next step is to pull some barb. Just like we did up in the hay yard, or not the hay yard, the lot and the hay field, they're gonna do a top line of barbed wire and a center line of barbed wire so that the cows don't, if they get to rubbing on it and stuff, they're gonna be deterred by the barbed wire, and it's going to keep them from trying to get into their hay. That's obviously the whole goal of this fence. Keep the cows out of the hay and off the highway.
About right there?
Go up just a hair, man.
Up. Okay. Let me get this.
You want me to get to the other side?
I think I can.
Armpits in the barbed wire.
Yeah, that's not comfortable.
There we go. Raise it up just a little bit. There you go.
All right, tie into the rest of the post, right?
Yep, we'll tie everything up to the rest of the post and this side's finished. So.
Awesome.
2 to go.
Center, we're doing center barb
Yeah,
too,
we're
right?
going to do a center barb too, just because we've got the high pressure situation. That'll keep your cattle from coming in and wanting to rub on this fence and putting added pressure to it. So.
So if somebody gets out, I can call you and Keith and be like, you gotta come.
Yeah.
You gotta come put them back in, right?
Yeah. Part of the service. I'll be here in about 2 days.
Okay, so I probably should just deal with it myself.
Maybe so.
Come forward. Now go. So Bekaert has been in Van Buren, Arkansas since 1976. We are a fully functioning wire mill. We do everything start to finish. So we control everything, the whole process, the drawing process, the galvanization process. So our quality is second to none. Bekaert has the premier coatings in the industry. We have a zinc aluminum coat, which is what we're putting up right here, and it's going to last forever on this ranch. Fantastic products. Check out fencing.bekaert.com.
Van is tying off to the post in Savannah. Maddie's in the skid steer pulling more wire. Keith is on his way down to help her. They're gonna finish up that roll and have to put another roll on. It's not gonna make it the length. But these guys are just gonna keep plugging at it. It's kind of just a rinse and repeat type situation. We've got this big long pole, this is the longest pole, and then two shorter ones. And then this fence project will be done here in just a few hours, which is great. I'll show you guys the finished project. I'll show you the finished product when they're all done, product, whichever. This behind me, this opening I'm in, is where the new 16-foot gate is gonna go. So Jeff and I are gonna hang a gate on here at some point. Not a crucial project today, but here shortly we're gonna hang a gate. I gotta bring heifers back here before too long and sort them off because it's almost breeding season. So if I don't get that done before they need to come back, I'll set some panels so that we don't have cows in here. But yeah, we'll be back before this is all done. Just gonna keep doing the same thing as what I've already showed you guys.
Definitely a little bit of an unorthodox pull right here. You've got a gate coming in, and then come down the road right away, and we had a 13-foot wing off to the side. So what we've done is some really odd bracing. Instead of making a 13-foot pull and having to tie off and pull the full length, what we're going to do is just wrap around this corner and pull up there into the gate. But it causes us a little bit of problems because you've got to think about where your force is, and the force of this pipe is inward. So we braced it out into the ditch, okay? But we also know that those animals can impact from the side. If they impact from the side, it pressures the post the other way. So we put another diagonal coming down to stop that situation too. It was a little bit, there was all kinds of mess in here. There were braces going every direction. So this is a lot cleaner, a lot neater, and it should hold its tension very well if the animals happen to take an impact, or if we get snow load in here, start drifting in, we don't want it to pull these braces down, and these two diagonals should reverse that. So hopefully it works out great.
Okay. So Keith's using their stretcher bar here, and we got wedges. A common question we get asked, if driving these wedges in will hurt the wire, but these wedges are actually softer than the wire. So over time, they'll begin to mushroom on the back, and you can even, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but you can see grooves start cutting in from the wire. So these will actually deform before the wire gets damaged. The main thing is you want it in good and straight like Keith's doing, and not have that edge cut down on the wire. You'll notice as he put those in, we catch every single line wire behind the wedges. If you leave one loose, as you put tension on it, you'll have a slack line on your fence. So this gives you a good even pull on all 9 strands of this fence. So.
Keep coming. He said that around the corner needs more.
I hope he don't need more. I don't know if I got any more.
I can barely hold it.
All right, it is nice and tight around this corner, and we actually switched directions. We're on the inside of the hay yard right here, and then it flip-flops and goes to the outside of those posts once we get past the bracing. This looks great. They're gonna get everything tied off and secured and run some more barbed wire. Are we all done?
We're done.
So 2 days for this build, 1 day for that.
Yep.
You guys did some other repairs and stuff around the ranch that you guys actually can see on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
Yep.
Posted some stuff. I love how this fence looks. It looks super great. Both fences. I don't think we're gonna have any problems this winter.
I mean, hopefully these fences do their job. You don't have to worry about it for quite some time.
Yeah, it'll be great. I always in the springtime when it's calving time and stuff, I will sit and watch the highway and stuff in that corner, especially that you guys braced and did differently.
Oh, yeah.
Always such a worrisome point, and I had a yearling in the ditch this winter, so.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen again. He's going to have to cross the cattle guard if he wants over now.
And that does happen, but it won't be fence that is the issue anymore. And that's always nice to, like, you always go looking for the problems, like where did they get through and stuff, and like when it was this fence, it was like, the old fence was like literally anywhere. They could have gone through anywhere, so. Yeah, this will solve so many problems for the ranch. Super appreciative. Love having you guys here.
We love to be here.
Yeah.
Can't wait for next year.
All right. I think we've already got some projects lined up.
He's already got ideas. I'll just keep making a wish list, and
Okay.
Bekaert will keep showing up and helping me improve this ranch and the infrastructure and putting really great fence in. So I appreciate it, you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you guys for watching. Really, really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.